Hello for the people that may be here, because I'm using another stream platform, so I have no idea if this is working. But let me check real quick, and in that case, if it is working, then we can share it. Yeah, it's working. So I should not say any stupid things right now. Let me announce this live stream real quick, and then we get into the content. Let me see. In the meantime, welcome. If you want to talk in the chat, ask me about these great altcoins out there or whatever, and then go ahead. Live streaming now. Feel free to join. All right. So for the people that are here, welcome. For the people that are going to watch this back, also welcome to the watch back. And let me check real quick if this is working in the first place, actually. Because again, I'm using a new stream platform. Haven't used this before. So let me see if everything is going well. And from what I see, it's probably not. It's probably not. No, but hey, who cares, man? It is working. Shit. Hey, everybody, you're seeing me. So, happy Sunday. And yeah, I mean, we
need to go over the market a little bit on a Sunday. I mean, Sundays are usually days to rest.
But we're in crypto, so we don't rest, right? I want to go over the market a little bit in this stream and go over some comments that you guys may have as well. So let me check that out. You can see your own comments in the live stream if everything is okay. So that should be pretty cool as well, actually. So if you ask questions, you can see yourself right there. Now, let me see. Let me prepare everything like I should. Here we are. Hello, guys. Welcome. I'm so great at this. Yeah. All right. If you want to like the video, by the way, help me a lot. It's a little boring lately in the market. Bitcoin is, however, holding up, right? It's sitting at $103,000, and I think that this is a pretty positive sign. But I saw one specific chart, which I yesterday shared with somebody else, and we were both like, whoa. And I need to let you see that in this video. Because that chart basically shows like, wow, this could really be the next big move, whether it's to the up or the downside. You should be prepared for that, okay? Because otherwise you could be taken off guard. And I know the shorter term moves should not really matter. But over the longer term, this could be a game changer, actually. So welcome, Almighty. It's Sunday first in. Yeah, the people that are here, like, they are just like the people that are always like, oh, I'm chilling on a Sunday. It's all fine. Hey, live stream. Cool. Let me check. Like, yeah, you are such a impulsive, just like me. And I can always appreciate that, right? Thanks for being here all throughout the bear market. Somebody said, no problem for being here 2 years ago, bro. And I'm still here right now, right? So, hey, bear market, sideways, up, whatever. Yeah, we should be here. Like, you cannot say to yourself, like, hey, it's a bull market, let's be in crypto. And, oh, it's a bear market, let's get out of it. Like, the bear markets is where you should be. Exactly that is the point where you should be, right? Loud and clear. Awesome. Your videos help me navigate through the market, so thanks. Happy to help. Man, I hope that that it could all be a little adding to your success or your failures, but that it's all at least a lesson, right? It's also really important. Let me see. Can you just do content without the animation?
You mean this animation? I don't know yet. I don't have the answers to that. But
I will think about it.
For now, I know it's annoying, but I'm like 15 years old, so whatever. So let me go over a couple things right now. What streaming platform are you trying? Just the YouTube streaming platform, and that's actually a lot harder. I usually use StreamYard, but this gives you a little more options, actually, by the way. So, hey guys, I see that there are now like 42 people. That's great. 8 likes. Why? Like, please help me out here. Help me out here, right? Okay, so let me go over a couple charts. Then I'm going to into some comments. Again, I will promise what I always promise, but I never make through, and that's that I don't want to make this too long. But, you know, we're going to try anyway. We're going to try anyway. Where do you come from? Mama. Sorry, the Netherlands. Okay, so look, if we first, right, look at Bitcoin. It is very clear how Bitcoin is moving. Jesus, in this market so far, and I feel like, hey, as long as it's not changing that, I'm pretty happy with what's happening in this market right now. What do I mean? Well, this market is since the bull market started, Bitcoin is basically doing the same thing, right? It goes up, it goes sideways / down for quite a while, and then it goes up pretty hard again. Sideways, down for a long time, up hard again. Sideways down for a long time, up hard. Sideways down, long time, up hard. Sideways down, long time, up hard. Sideways down, long time, up hard. Right? That's Bitcoin is taking these steps, like it's elevator up, and then it's like, you know, these things that you have at airports. I don't know what they're called, these bands, like la 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 for like 6 months, right? And then it's all of a sudden into the plane again, right? So Bitcoin is on one big plane vacation this whole cycle so far. And so far, no plane crashes. So that's amazing. At a certain point, there will be a plane crash, and that's called the bear market. But I think that we are pretty far from that. This is a bonus while cooking Sunday breakfast. Dude, you at least cook your breakfast. I just like... I eat bread. Like, I'm not cooking anything, right? That's so, but that's a very American thing to say. Although you have a Canadian, I don't know. Anyway, love it, man. Thanks. So Bitcoin is doing fine, actually. Bitcoin, there's nothing to worrying. And if I'm being honest, my price target for Bitcoin might sound a little unrealistic, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to say it, but I think that Bitcoin is going way higher this bull market. And it all has to do with the fact that, well, one, the dollar is becoming worth less. There is also less Bitcoin. So, you know, supply demand, that's the first thing. It goes through these cycles. It always goes up more. And if you want to put a narrative to it, the adoption that we have right now in this market compared to in 2021 is off the freaking charts, right? It is insane. Now, I want to put something in perspective before we can go on. If you feel like, well, Bitcoin is not going way higher than it probably is, right? What you want to look at, if you look at Bitcoin's market cap, right, and you compare it to the last cycle, look, we are now sitting at 2 trillion. The last cycle, it topped out at 1.2 trillion. So it's like, what, 80% higher for now? I feel like, but this time we have countries adopting it. We have ETFs. We have the president behind it. We have the biggest institutions, the mass adoption, the money. Like, it is so much more insane than this. Like, it's more than 80% insane than over here, right? But the price is not yet. Yeah, that could tell us two things, right? Either Bitcoin was overvalued right here, or it's undervalued right here, right? Now, I think it is undervalued right here because we, of course, now compare Bitcoin where it is right now to a cycle top. And yeah, therefore, also, I think that top isn't in, right? You can use a lot of things for that. I think that sticking to the 4-year cycle is one of the most important things together with the macro. But another thing that you can use is just the top indicators, right? Which have always been a decent indicator if you combine enough, at least, right? And yeah, here we have the 30 biggest indicators like the pi cycle indicator, pure multiple, etc., etc., and none of them flash yet. None, right? None. 0 out of 30. So yeah, I think overall we're going way higher this cycle. And oh, cool. I'm gonna answer a couple questions that people have. Because yeah, that might be interesting. But you have to like the video, man. 52 watchers, 16 likes. Like, why? Come on, that helps me. That makes YouTube think like, huh? This is good content, apparently. Let's push it, right? We need to like make sure that this is getting spread, man. I would appreciate that a lot. So yeah, that's with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking healthy, bull market far from over, etc., etc., etc. And there's also a pretty nice pattern actually. If you look at this, yeah, it's not completely perfect actually, but it is in a pretty decent uptrend, right? And it's not too parabolic. It goes quite close to that trend line every now and then. So it's not showing any signs of overheating necessarily. Now, there is a chart that I want to talk about when it comes to altcoins, okay? Because Bitcoin, great. We all know that Bitcoin is decent and perfect even for the long term, right? I made a video yesterday where I said like, hey, if you just buy $100 or whatever of Bitcoin weekly, you would do amazing, right? You would do amazing. And I would suggest everybody to always at least DCA something into Bitcoin weekly, whether it's through a bull or a bear market, doesn't really matter. Whatever you can miss, so that this mass adoption won't stop. It can only get more and more and more, and you still have a chance to at least buy something, right? But you don't want to look at Bitcoin sitting at I don't know how much money in 10 years and be like, oh, I wish bought 10 years ago, but it looked like it was too expensive for me. Like, yeah, that's what people thought 10 years ago as well, right? So it's better now than ever. But I want to go over the altcoin market though, because altcoins are a great way to make more Bitcoin. And apart from everything that in the last couple of months I discussed on the channel, why I see that the moment for alts is really approaching. We just had this Ethereum bounce, and yeah, it's not for no reason that Ethereum is having the biggest bounce of the whole cycle exactly at the macro low, right? So I don't know. That looks like the start of a reversal to me, but there's even a better chart because there are still some bearish people out there. And I think Benjamin Cowen is a big reason for that, right? And it's not that that's necessarily a bad thing. But again, I do think that this guy is really conservative. And he's looking for the worst case scenario and try to make that his base case. And I honestly don't think we should assume that that's going to happen. There's a chart that he always looks at. Total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin. So what is this, right? Now it's getting exciting about alts. This is the total crypto market, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and excluding USDT on its Bitcoin pair, right? So how is every altcoin, except for Ethereum, and including every stable, actually, excluding USDT, how is that doing against Bitcoin? Now, Benjamin said very, very clearly that this 25 is his base case, and that is his best case scenario target. Okay. Now, I must say that I don't really agree with that. But let's say Bitcoin goes to 500K and this happens, right? Then we are still not complaining about alts on the dollar pair, right? So is this little, like, I have it on a log scale, right? If you look at it like this, you might be like, man, it came from here. It came from here, right? Like, if it's now here or here, who really cares, right? Like timing the button, right? Okay, fine. But what does it mean for altcoins on their dollar pair, right? Depends on what Bitcoin does in the meantime, of course. If Bitcoin goes down while this is happening, then your altcoins are getting wrecked. If Bitcoin stays sideways while this is happening, then altcoins could get wrecked as well. If Bitcoin goes up really hard while this goes down, then altcoins are not really getting wrecked. And as I started this stream, like, I think that Bitcoin is looking actually really, really, really fantastic, to be honest. But still, there is also a chart for this, right? And that's this chart right here. The total crypto market minus Ethereum, minus Bitcoin, minus USDT. That's basically the chart that he looks at, but this is not on its Bitcoin pair. This is just on the dollar pair, right? Now, this chart is in a clear uptrend, of course, right? And again, it's not that I'm saying like, oh, then the other chart doesn't make sense. It does make sense, but it's that Bitcoin is going up harder, but it's still in an uptrend, right? Now, if I look at this, I'm like, okay, this is, in the first place, it's bullish, right? We start here, we go to the upside, downside, upside, right? Or whatever. As long as the trend is intact, we should not fight it. But I started to look like, hey, this move that we are in right now, it looks a lot like this. Like if you just visualize it, like it looks quite a lot like it, right? And let me check the chat in the meantime. Okay, cool. I'll answer some questions in a couple minutes. But it looks, this leg looks a lot like this leg, right? Well, it is scary similar, right? If you can see, we went to the upside, got rejected at the trend line, went down in a wick towards this mid band, right? Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see it even better. Here, we went to the upside, to this trend line. We went down, we wicked to the mid band. Cool. Then we started to creep up again, up. Here also, up. Then we had the breakdown towards the middle in a wick. We had the breakdown towards the middle in a wick. Then we go up, try to retest this midline. Up, retest this midline, fails, right? Goes down in a matter of a couple weeks. And we touch this down upper lower band with a wick, right? That's exactly what we did right here again as well. And then we started to slowly recover again. And now we are slowly starting to recover again, right? So that is already interesting that the pattern looks exactly the same. But what else I noticed is the following. Whenever we were in this wick to the downside, right? Because we want to know, like, hey, can we go to this here again, right? And how long could that take? Well, here we were at the lower band in August, and we went to the upper band in December. That's 4 months, right? Cool. Let's remind that. Here, we are in April. So if we want to do this also in 4 months, we should get there in August, right? Or April, May, June, July, August. August, yeah. Okay, in August, we should go to the upper band. At least we should not do anything, but if we repeat this, right? Cool. Let's check that off, right? August, September, August, right? Which is around here. Now, what's interesting, if you take a Fibonacci tool and you take it over this last move, right? Then what do you see? We went to the 200 on the Fibonacci extension right here. Okay, whatever. Well, if we take a Fibonacci tool right now on the move that we have, the 2 is sitting here at that trend line, right? When is this trend line, this Fibonacci tool and this trend line, when are they meeting each other? It happens to be in August, 4 months later, exactly like here. So this showed me like, so far, and again, it doesn't have to play out like that, right? But I also feel like with these kind of things, I always feel like, hey, it's repeating every single step. Let's not act like it can not repeat the next step as well, right? Like, let's try to take every, and this is not one chart that I show and be like, oh, so this is going to happen. Of course not. It's not how it works, right? But it is something that I feel like, oh yeah, we should consider that actually, that this is a possibility. So I thought that was pretty interesting, actually. Let me take a look at a couple comments right now. And for the newer people, welcome. Can you please do me a favor and tick that like button once, not twice, and it goes away, right? Just once. Once is enough for me. Would help a lot, okay? Would help a lot. Would really appreciate that. Okay, so Bobby said, hey, Menno, where do you think meme coins are going? And what do you think of Floki? Cheers, buddy. Keep up the good work. Where I think meme coins are going, look, that depends, right? Where's the market going in general? And I think that we are going to have a spectacular altcoin run somewhere this cycle. So meme coins are probably going to follow that. Like, it's not, I think that if we get a big run, that for some reason meme coins in general are going to get left behind. Will they outperform the rest of the market? Again, I think that there will be a certain amount of meme coins that will have bigger gains, but I think it's more of a market general question, and I think that meme coins can do fine. But you're asking the right question by asking me about Floki, in my opinion, because it doesn't mean that, hey, if the market is doing well, let's buy up all the 40 million shitcoins that are being built by every loser out there, because they will still die and get rugged, and it will be way more terrible, actually. So stick with the quality meme coins as far as you can make a difference. And what I think about Floki, somebody asked me in the last live stream, maybe it was you, I don't know, but what I liked about Floki is at least that if you look at the market cap and you compare it to the last cycle, it has been going up way harder over here than in the last cycle. So over a long, whatever the price actually, but over the long term, Floki chart-wise looks pretty healthy, man, in my opinion. Yeah. Almighty says, I'm drinking coffee, bro. I already had 8, like, it's crazy. When do you think the Bitcoin dominance goes down, and will we see the real alt season? June. You're answering your own question. Look, it's kind of hard to put a date on it, right? All I see is that the Bitcoin dominance is really, really, really overheated right now. And yeah, but the thing is, it could stay overheated for a long time. It could stay overheated for a very short time. And that's really hard to predict. All I know that it has been in this rising wedge. It broke to the downside, might test that top, but it lost support right there. So that's already looking to me like, okay, that's a little weak. The stochastic RSI on the weekly, right? It crossed its moving average. And when something like that crosses its moving average, that did not happen a lot of times, or I even, by the way, put it on the monthly. It's about to cross in, a while somewhere. Yeah, and the only time that happened actually was here, right? And that's sent us straight into Altseason. Yeah, I can show like 10,000 charts that show why being bullish on the Bitcoin dominance at this point seems straight stupid to me, actually. Another thing is that, again, the risk levels for the Bitcoin dominance are flashing red, like flashing red right now. Let me see if you guys can see that. Yeah, it was sitting at 0.93 right? If we take everything away and only get that, then you'll see that that did not happen a lot of times. And there was basically a big top on at least this whole period right here, and this alt season. And in this alt season, it didn't even went that high. So I feel like, yeah, overall, I don't know, right? Like it was that oversold for a long time before it really started to go down. So the if, in my opinion, is like not a question. And the when is the question, right? And that might have something to do with the ending of QT, potentially. Yeah, and in that case, look, the next FOMC is not this month, right? So if it depends on that, yeah, then maybe somewhere beginning June. But hey, who knows, man? Maybe they're going to continue then still, and we get it in July. Like, I think nobody can honestly answer the question when alt season. All I know is that now, historically speaking, is a better time to prepare since the last 6 years. So, yeah. Lee says, looking forward to alt season. I have no doubts. Greets from Amsterdam. Greets back from Groningen. Yeah, also, I have zero doubts that it will come. Like I said, it's more the question, if you ask me about when. Homemade waffles. Awesome, dude. Like, oh shit, I wish I was not this lazy. Then I can do that too. Lee also said, could AI be like gaming was in 2021? Maybe. I mean, we had a pretty big look. Gaming in 2021 was nothing else than hype. There was no quality involved, right? With AI and Web3, I also say whatever you want, but I don't see much quality out there. And it's also hype. And I think it will continue a little bit, let alone if there are some projects that actually have some quality. So, yeah, I must say that I think that AI could be a pretty good one this cycle. Somebody said, "Yo, man, I love your channel. Real facts backed by data, not bullish bearish. Just keeping doing." Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I try. I mean, like there will be a certain point in the market where I will talk about being bearish and selling, and then everybody will hate me for that probably. But that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Like I never want to go with the emotion. I think actually that's the biggest problem, right? So is the stream still healthy? Let me check. I think so. All right, that's great. That's great, guys. Awesome. Again, I'm not going to make this a long one. I just mainly wanted to show this chart, like I said, right here. Sorry, this chart right here, and how extremely good this is looking. Now, there are already altcoins that are doing quite well, right? And most are either going up or holding up. Right. But if you look at a lot like Joe, this is one of my bigger positions. I think that this is going to generate a lot of revenue. Yeah. If I look at this chart, I'd be like, man, without alt season, it went to 125. It's now sitting at 20 cents. Right. We should not underestimate how much money there is in the market right now. And because if you overlay the total crypto market, you can see like, hey, there is now way more money in the market than what there was over here. But this coin is way lower. So it takes a fraction of whatever, Bitcoin, USDT, whatever, to put into this coin. And we can see candles like shit. But we need a kickstart, right? Like that's what we need first. And a lot of people, they might be doubting if we will ever get that. And I'm not doubting it. I'm more like, okay, when will it come? right? But if it comes, it will be so insane. It will be so crazy. Like, I think there's going to be so much FOMO, and that's what's causing even bigger candles, right? So it's the domino effect. It's the domino effect, man. Somebody says, for me, it's going to be a bull trap. We are heading into a boring crypto summer, downside going forward. Bitcoin dominance rising again, alts bleeding a bit more. Okay, thanks for the reasoning as always. It could be that you're right, but why do you think that? I do notice that a lot of people nowadays say like, oh, it's going to be a bad summer. And I think that's mostly based on the fact that we had a bad summer in 2021, right? But it's very weird because if these people, they look at the previous cycle, like, oh yeah, sell and may go away, whatever, right? Bad summer. That's very seasonality driven. But the same people also say, no, Altseason, top is in. I feel like, but you are so sticking to the seasons. Then why are you only sticking to the bad summer and not the good? Like, man, I don't know if this summer will be that bad. It could be. On the other hand, has the macro ever looked better? Doubt it. Like, well, I'm not even doubting it. By far, fuck no. Like, no. And the liquidity injections and all, like, oh. And yeah, again, you say as well, Bitcoin dominance rising. I sometimes try to look for reasons like, okay, what is suggesting that the Bitcoin dominance will go up a lot more from this? Is it the seasonality? No, we're in the post-halving year. That's the alt-season year, okay? Is it the macro? Well, the Fed is slowing down QT so much, and we have the stop of QT coming somewhere pretty soon. So also that is definitely not the case. No one else could it be, right? The charts. Okay, the charts. Well, Bitcoin dominance making very bearish crosses in a highly overbought territory. Others dominance others dominance is coming from a double bottom, etc., etc., etc. The chart that I just showed on Into the Cryptoverse, like this chart right here, this is saying this is higher risk than what it's been in the last 6 years. Okay, so this is not a reason to be bullish. Like, this is buying Bitcoin at 68K. Like, could it go to 69 last cycle, right? Like, maybe, but why try? Then I look like, okay, maybe the Bitcoin dominance is going up so much because of retail or whatever, right? Like the retail, big retail here means a lot of people are here able to sell alts, right? And then I feel like, yeah, but retail is at zero. That also always lines up with very macro floor prices for alts. So again, maybe you're right, but I don't know what your reasoning is, but I really cannot find any. Doesn't mean that I have to be right though. But I honestly, how unbiasedly I want to look at it, I cannot find a reason to be bullish on the Bitcoin dominance anymore for the rest of this cycle. Somebody with not a weird channel called says, morning, what do you think of 10x from here, where we are with your typical stuff, S-Fund, Ronin, ChainGPT, Prime, these things? I think that, let me put it like this. The cycle so far, with look, here and there, this is a little move to the left. That's a little move to the right. Well, most of it is moved to the right, actually. But overall cycle is doing the same things over and over again. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, if that continues, then 10Xs are bad. Really, really bad. Then I think you really messed something up. Look, and it's not to be like hypey moonboy, this and that, but again, I think that we are in the period of the market, right, where altcoins bleed against Bitcoin. Everybody's bullish on altcoins. And finally, when we are down here and they are sitting at such a freaking low level, people be like, nah, it can never go that high. Bro, let me tell you something. From this point, there's more upside than from this point. I think that makes sense, right? So, yeah, that's something. And also, if you look, right, this is such an interesting chart, and this has it's such a controversial chart because it always gives you a price target that you feel like that can't happen. And then it happens times 5. And that's just what it is. And that's the total crypto market cap and its fair value. And if you look at that, then you can see like, hey, in every bull market, we go way above the fair value, right? Like way, way, way above. Here, the fair value set at like 8 million and the market went to 180 million, right? Here, and that's diminishing. Here it was sitting at $1 billion. It went to 12 billion, right? Here it was sitting at 69 billion. It went to 730 billion. Here it was like, because we had two tops, sitting at 500 billion, went to 2.5 trillion, right? So if it is diminishing and, you know, we just go, let's say 2x above it, which is the worst cycle in that case so far. Yeah, by the end of the year, the total market is sitting at 5 trillion. So we have a total market cap, worst case scenario, right? So far of $10 trillion. Cool. $10 trillion, right? Fine. Then I look at these altcoins and altcoin dominance. And then I'll be like, what if the altcoin market decides to do very poorly as well? So we already have a very worst case scenario of 10 trillion total. And let's say then that we don't really even get an alt season and the altcoin market just dominates with 12% again. Or even with, let's say 14 like it did in May. That was not even alt season, right? 14% of 10 trillion, that's $1.4 trillion. So that's two like super bear case scenarios combined with each other. And that's $1.4 trillion for others. That's here. That's like 3x above the all-time high. Yeah, these are only the high caps, right? So if these high caps from this point do a 6x, yeah, then the lower caps, like said, like the CDFI and the ChainGPT round, etc., they are likely to do way more. So I think we should not underestimate, and nothing crazy. I'm not saying it will happen, right? But I'm only saying like nothing weird has to happen in order to make it happen, right? So let's not be on the missing out phase, like, oh, it's not gonna happen. Like you're betting against logic right here. Somebody said the more bearish people, the better for alts because the market does the reverse. Yeah, that's true, right? Like, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we all remember that at the beginning of April, how many people here were saying like it's over, and everything basically 2-3x in a month, like it's nothing. And based on what huge news? Nothing actually, right? Nothing. That just happens like that. Let alone if we actually get liquidity injections and good news, etc. Then, like, being a bear in a post-halving year is just not working out, right? Like, don't do that. Do that next year, probably, right? No sell in May this year. We'll have a crypto summer finally. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it becomes true again. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to predict, right? Like it's a saying. And look, if you look at this chart for Bitcoin, then you can see that in May last year, which was here, right? That was a, you know, sell in May, go away. It depends. A part of May was bad, but it's mainly the second and the third week, right? Yeah, if you sold into that third week, you also sold the bottom, right? So it depends on how you apply that saying, actually. If we go to May in 2000 and, oh wait, I skipped a few Mays actually. If we go to May in 2024, that's here. Yeah, that was not a bad May or whatever. Maybe here, right? Also, not really. I mean, if you sold in May, you missed this pump, right? Like, I don't know about that saying actually, but I think it's more like, yeah, summers are usually worse because people go on vacation, they don't buy a lot. Yeah, maybe they just hold this time and don't sell as well because they're on vacation, right? These kind of things are hard to predict. I don't think the months always have to play out like they always play out. Somebody said this video is better than any university shit. Thanks, man. That's great. Like, I also did not learn much from school, so every YouTube video for me, like even these weird cat videos, are better. Is the stream still working? I see myself, I'm lagging, but I think everything is okay. Let me know in the chat. But okay. Somebody asked also, will gaming come back? Bro, again, I don't know. Like the question is, will it? Like, let me put it like that. I can't say if it will. If you ask me if I think so, let me put it like this. I think gaming is going to be a bigger narrative than RWA, meme coins, AI, all combined. And I am pretty positive about that. But that's also more a question of when, right? Why when? Because it takes a lot of time, right? Gaming is like, you don't build a quality game overnight and have the adoption and if this and that, like, takes a long time, right? All the stars have to align. But why will it be so extremely fucking big? Because gaming is the only thing, well, not the only maybe, but maybe almost the only thing that actually has a use case of trillions of people, right? And not like everybody is using AI in especially in Web3. Not everybody feels like, oh, RWA, or using a layer 1 or whatever. But the most simple, young, old, everybody plays video games. Integrate that into Web3, you have literally adopted the complete world population, right? There's not another crypto narrative that I feel like you can do that with, unless it's about like global payments or whatever. And yeah, I mean, gaming and crypto, it goes hand in hand, man. It's such a peanut butter and jelly kind of thing, right? Like, it's all digital. It's about collecting stuff, progressing. Like it's I don't know. It makes way too much sense, in my opinion. Please update me on your thoughts on AI tech. Yeah, I mean, I can take a look at the charts, but I have not been following their product development lately. I already said months back that I don't really like them as a launchpad, as I think that their allocations are just really low compared to what you have to pay for it. The chart is looking pretty good. So coin-wise, it is looking good, right? I mean, you had some, have, right? This is a critical point, though. I mean, it got slaughtered, let's be honest, right? Like, I can say like, wow, it looks good. It went from 2 cents all the way to 7 cents. But yeah, it also went from 50 cents to fucking 2 cents first, right? So kind of bad, actually. So yeah, the harder the fall, the harder the recovery. But at least there is a recovery. And now it's sitting at a critical point. So I would say like, hey, if you bought somewhere near the bottom and you have profit, might not be the worst time to take some out. The daily RSI is also really flashing green right now, right? Last time that was the case, it was the top, basically. So short term, not really optimistic. Long term, actually don't have an opinion. What's your opinion on base? Will Aerodrome finance do well this cycle? My logic is this. Will Ethereum be a success? Yeah. I mean, Ethereum is the biggest chain. It just showed like, hey, this was the macro bottom. We have a big fucking bounce from it, and everybody loves Ethereum again after one pump. Ethereum is there to stay. Is Ethereum still very cheap and very fast? It's better, but it's not. That was the benefit about Solana, right? The negative is that Solana was not made for all these people and got congested a lot, right? So what helps is a good layer 2. Now base, when it comes to the costs and the speed, same as Solana. So that's basically using Ethereum with the speed and the cost of Solana, and without the congestions and with the big adoption and the amount that's being built on it. And I don't mean pump fund kind of shit, but I mean actually builders on it, right? So in that case, I would say, okay, I think that base is going to do very well. And therefore, I also bet on Aerodrome. For the people that don't know, that's the leading DEX on base, and Aero is their token. Thoughts on... I'm going to wrap it up in a bit, by the way. Thoughts on AI... which one was it? AI 16Z. Let me check. Overall, any thought about any altcoin? Again, it does depend on the overall market, right? I still feel like, man, if the... What the hell is this thing? If the overall market looks healthy, then any altcoin should do well anyway. But if the overall market looks like crap, then yeah, most altcoins also go down with that. But AI 16Z, let me see which chart has most history. Oh, that's another one. I have to check this one. Against Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, against Bitcoin, it's down 90% in 90 days. So when it comes to this, it's like fucking terrible. Like it was even down way more because it was down in total 94%. I didn't measure it well. Well, it happened to be 95 days, by the way. Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, well, this is the type of coin that in a market that's obviously going up, this very high risk, but it responds very well. But in a market that's doubtful or not great, then this is the last thing you want to have in your portfolio, apparently. I want a 10x. What coin, please? Yeah, you asked the wrong person, bro. I'm gonna give you a whole preach right now about understanding the market and getting in on time and this and that you should be careful with buying coins that can do a 10x, etc. Because it's the wrong question, man. It's I want a 10x. How do I do it, and not just what altcoin do I buy? In my opinion, it's not that simple. Actually, and the people on YouTube that claim to be are
A little bit gay.
Let me check. Bam! Demonetized. Banned. Can't wait to get out of this BS crypto market. Yeah, but you just said you want to make a 10x. So then again... I feel like if you feel like you can make a 10x in this market, then it's not a BS market. The market is never BS, by the way. The market goes up and down, right? Made a lot of people money. Some people got broke by it. It's also fine, but it's the same market for every one of them, for everybody, right? So if you think the market is bad, then you are doing something wrong in this market, right? It's very simple. You also, when it comes to alts, like, if you look at this chart, it's like, if if you here feel like, this market bad, then it's probably because you didn't want to buy here or whatever, but you probably bought here, right? Then that's not the market's fault, that's your fault. So I appreciate you for joining and for being here, and I want you to be around, but grow the fuck up. 4-5x on my portfolio will be happy, will come and run naked to the streets in Groningen. Maybe you will better book a holiday. Yeah. I will be gone here then. But thanks for the warning. When will start Altseason? Feels like it has been decades. Yeah, it feels like a long time, right? It has been a long time. You know how long? Exactly as long as the last cycles, right? Maybe 1 or 2 months difference, but that's normal. And yeah, we need people to be like, disbelief, and then it will come. Somebody said Benjamin Cowen expected. Yeah, here we go. Expected Bitcoin dominance to go here more. This mean alt bleeding more. What is your opinion? And when Cowen bullish on altcoin? Cowen bullish on altcoin when altcoin really high. Yeah, I gave a lot of opinions about Benjamin Cowen already. I think that, again, people should not follow what he says. Very simple, right? Not because he makes wrong calls here and there. Like, everybody does that, and he's been more right than most people. But more that the people that want to get the green light from him to get into altcoins, these are the people that cannot miss out on these altcoin runs. Yeah, let me tell you, Ben can, right? Like, he's rich. If he misses an altcoin run, he'd be like, too bad, fuck it. Still have a lot of Bitcoin. I'm okay, right? Yeah. He's trying to time the top on the dominance, and it's just not smart, in my opinion. He's ignoring his own indicators. So, AIOZ is going to rip. I hope so. I bought a bag and took some profits already. Very happy with that. And now it's steadily, it already ripped, but let it go for another rip. Still have a little bag. Don't know what the hell it does. But hey, that's me. So you are saying that sentiment is 180 now? I thought this upcoming week through June at least was going to be epic. Based on what? Sentiment 180 as in bad or non-existence or good or very, I know what you mean. All I know is there are no people in crypto right now, basically. The stoichiometric is really sitting at 0, right? And altcoins, full alt season, cycle tops happen when there are a lot of people. So purely based on this chart, this is a better fucking moment to buy than since 2016. What you say, I thought this upcoming week until June was going to be epic. I don't know what your thoughts are, man. I have no idea if this week is going to be epic. I don't know. What's your take on Beam? I like it. I have it in my portfolio. I think it could do well. I'm heavy in Ondo, Arrow, Fat, Super, and Near. Yeah, I hold most of those as well. Coming on AI Tech, yeah, did that. AI 16Z as well. Cardano, yeah, Cardano. Look, I don't like Cardano. They are the best meme coin out there. But yeah, but then again, if you look at the chart, I'd be like, whoa! I've showed this before. I deleted all these arrows, but what we are doing right here is exactly the same as over here. Exactly the same. It has 9 moves, right? Up, down, that cat bounce, down, that cat bounce, etc. Consolidation, mid-cycle rally, down again, accumulation, and bull. We literally repeated every single step except for this one yet. That's insane. So purely chart-wise, this is the most bullish looking chart out there, right? We repeated 8 out of the 9 steps perfectly. And there's a good chance that 9 will also do. And the narrative, people, they know about it from the last cycles. Do they know what it does? No, it doesn't matter. It's crypto. We don't know. We don't care. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be very impulsive, but I'm going to wrap it up. So, thanks for watching, guys. I see that there are getting more and more comments in, and I was just planning on just testing this way of live streaming, and I thought it's Sunday, everybody has a live. Turns out nobody has a live like me, so that's nice. We're dropping some very cool videos coming week, by the way. Gonna do some more exciting things with the content. For now, my main message is, if you are prepared for some downside by holding some USDT or whatever, just stables, cash, that's always fine. If you are prepared for the upside, that's where that's where I'm more sitting, of course, right now. Not been buying Bitcoin from a personal bag at this point. I feel like I said, with the Bitcoin dominance, etc., as being so high, it feels like, that's now not really the thing to do. So I'm now just positioning in alts. I think that ETH is going to be extremely well. The ETH will surprise, and a lot of alts together with it, I think, as well. I might be wrong. You will forever hate me. That could be. But hey, I'm just looking how things are looking right now, and if the market throws some curveballs, that could always happen. But for now, don't bet on the handicapped horse. It's not gonna win the race. Anyway, like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me see, is there something we can wrap it up with?
This was it for today. Some people said they don't like this kind of stuff. And I get that. But I don't care. Bye-bye.